So, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm pretty pissed off. This is the second time I've recorded this video. I didn't realise that the recording had stopped, and I didn't want to look at the monitor, which is above the camera, because I want to look at the camera and I want to look at you, and yeah, it wasn't recording. So I thought what I did was a pretty good video, but none of it record. Let's see. Shows you how this second take's going to go, really, doesn't it? So welcome to another video. Today we're talking about overwhelm, and for the past 2 weeks, if I'm honest, I felt completely overwhelmed. I've had so much work on, so many new inquiries, I've launched my course, and my head feels like it's just going to explode. So I thought I'd talk through some of the tips that I use in order to overcome that overwhelm. So the first technique is the mind dump, and that's literally just getting everything out of your head. It was popularized by David Allen, the author of Getting Things Done. And what I want you to do is just literally get a piece of paper, get a notes app, get a whiteboard, whatever you want, and just write down everything that is currently on your mind and anything associated with that. It can be something in 10 years time, it can be something as stupid as tidy your desk, it can be anything. David Allen actually has a guided walkthrough where he kind of gives you cues, like he goes, auntie, garden, and stuff like that. It's kind of weird, but it's actually quite helpful. But what I generally do is, once I've written down everything that is on my mind, I'll do kind of a visual or physical walk through my office, through the house, think about where you work, your garden, and you can say like, that needs doing, that needs doing, that needs doing, that needs doing, and just write everything down. And this list can seem slightly overwhelming, but I promise you, once you get everything out of your head, you will feel so much clearer, and it's actually really good to do before you go to bed, because I actually get a better night's sleep if I do it then. And a habit that I picked up off the back of the mind dump is quick capture. So I have a quick capture on my Mac, I have a quick capture on my iPhone, where I just literally can free type whatever it is that I want and then just hit enter. So if I'm in the middle of the project and I think, I must buy milk, literally open it up with a quick shortcut. I use TickTick and Command-Shift-A, buy milk, enter. It's gone. It's out of my head and it's into a system that I trust. And then I process that inbox in my weekly review, which if you want to find out more about, I'll happily make a video. Just leave me a comment down below. So would you believe this recording stopped again? I had a full card and I didn't notice. So clearly this YouTube video was not meant to be, and it's probably good that it wasn't recording, because the amount of profanity that came out of my mouth would not be suitable for YouTube. So the tip that I was going to say next was Cold Turkey. It's an app for Mac. I don't know whether they do it for Windows, but essentially it just blocks you out of all the distracting websites. So from 8 in the morning till 5 at night, it blocks me from iPlayer, it blocks me from Netflix, it blocks me from YouTube. Because when I tend to get overwhelmed, I tend to procrastinate and just think, fuck it, I don't want to do any of it, and just wallow in despair and watch YouTube and Netflix and things like that. So it's actually good to just block all that sort of stuff. It does allow me 30 minutes at lunch to kind of chill out and relax and charge my batteries, but other than that, it just blocks me completely. And you can actually set it to block you completely from your laptop. So I had a blocker at 8 PM and it would just completely lock me out of my laptop, which is good for me because I tend to overwork. But the other week I did turn that off because I needed to do some more work, and I haven't actually turned it back on again. So after this video, I'm going to turn it straight back on. Maybe I won't, I don't know. Probably not. So you've made a big list of things to do, and you might be thinking, how the hell am I going to get all these things done? One of the tips that I use is the Pomodoro technique. So the Pomodoro technique is 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of rest. So you just work solidly for 25 minutes, and it's great because when you're thinking, I really want to just quit, I want to look at my phone, I think, okay, I've only got 3 minutes left. Let me just finish this Pomodoro, and then I've got 5 minutes to check my phone and do whatever I want. So you can get various apps. TickTick for me does it, and I can sign it to a task. That way I can get a sense of how many Pomodoros it takes to do that type of task, and then I can give better estimations to clients, or just for myself planning the next day. And what I've actually done as well is extended that work time to 50 minutes and then a 10-minute break. It just allows me to get more work done, feels more productive, and then 10 minutes is kind of a longer break where I can actually chill and relax for a longer period of time. So the final idea is from 2 different books, which is Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy and The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. And essentially what the message of those 2 books is that there's so many things you can focus on, but there's only really one thing that you should be focusing on at a time. For the one thing, it's asking yourself the question, what is the one thing I can do now so that by doing it, everything else will seem easier or unnecessary? You're trying to find the biggest domino that will just knock down the rest, and it's going to have the biggest impact. Similarly, Brian Tracy's Eat the Frog find the ugliest frog, basically the thing that you really don't want to do on your to-do list, and do that first. It's not comfortable, doing any of this is not comfortable. Getting things done is hard, but those are sort of hard questions you've got to ask yourself to get all those things on your mind dump list done, basically. So there we go. That's the tips that I use when I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Hopefully they help you the next time you're feeling like that. And I'll see you next week on 2 weeks at a time, where I go through my life as a filmmaker and the lessons that I've learned. So until then, I will see you next week.